It starts with a tiny brown, crispy edge on the tip of your favorite indoor plant. A week later, that tiny spot has spread down the sides, turning beautiful green leaves into dry, crispy eyesores. Your immediate instinct is to grab a pair of scissors and chop the ugly brown parts off. But stop for a second, because trimming brown tips without fixing the underlying root cause can actually trigger a secondary wave of stress, causing the browning to move even faster. In this script, we are answering the ultimate questions every plant parent faces. Should you cut brown tips off your leaves? Can a leaf with brown edges ever turn green again? And what specific environmental trigger is causing your foliage to turn crisp in the first place? Let's address the most common myth right away. Can a brown leaf tip turn green again? The direct answer is no. Once plant leaf tissue turns brown and crispy, those cells are completely dead. Photosynthesis has stopped in that area, and the vascular system inside that specific section of the leaf is permanently collapsed. No amount of fertilizer, special watering, or extra light will revive dead tissue back to green. Which leads us to the big decision. Should you trim the brown tips off? Yes, but how you trim them makes all the difference between helping your plant heal and causing further damage. When you slice directly through healthy green tissue to cut away the brown part, you create an open wound. The plant responds to that cut by sealing the wound off, which creates, you guessed it, a brand new thin line of brown tissue right where you just cut. To trim correctly without triggering fresh browning, use sharp, sanitized scissors and follow the natural shape of the leaf. Crucially, leave a tiny, microscopic margin of brown tissue behind, about the width of a fingernail edge. By leaving that paper-thin strip of dead tissue intact, you avoid slicing into living cells, meaning the plant doesn't have to waste energy healing an open wound. Now, trimming is purely cosmetic. If you want to stop brown tips from appearing on new growth, you have to diagnose the underlying trigger. There are 4 primary culprits behind brown, crispy edges on houseplants. Culprit number 1 is dry air and low humidity. Tropical plants like calatheas, ferns, spathiphyllum, and marantas are built for humid environments. In a dry room, especially during winter when indoor heating is running, water evaporates out of the leaf tips faster than the roots can push fresh moisture up from the soil. The cells at the furthest points of the leaf starve for water first and die off. If the tips are crispy, papery, and curling upward, low humidity is your main offender. Grouping plants together, running a humidifier nearby, or placing your pot over a tray filled with pebbles and water will raise the ambient microclimate around the leaves. Culprit number 2 is tap water chemistry. If you water your plants with municipal tap water, it likely contains dissolved chlorine, chloramines, fluoride, and hard minerals. While safe for humans, sensitive plants like spider plants, dracaenas, and prayer plants cannot process heavy mineral buildup. The plant absorbs these minerals through the roots, moves them through the leaf veins, and deposits them at the edges. Over time, salt and fluoride build up at the leaf tips, burning the tissue from the inside out. If your brown tips are surrounded by a distinct halo of bright yellow, tap water mineral burn is the likely cause. Switching to distilled water, rainwater, or reverse osmosis water will halt this process entirely. Culprit number 3 is underwatering or inconsistent watering cycles. If you let your soil get bone dry to the point where the plant wilts and then drench it, the sudden shock fractures the plant's hydraulic pressure. The leaf tips perish during the drought phase and show up as dry, brittle brown spots days later. Consistency is key. Water when the top 2 inches of soil feel dry, rather than letting the entire pot turn into dust before watering. Culprit number 4 is fertilizer burn. Synthetic plant foods are concentrated salts. If you apply too much fertilizer, or apply it when the soil is bone dry, Those salts draw moisture directly out of the root cells through a process called reverse osmosis. Root tips burn, and within 48 hours, the leaf tips turn dark brown or crisp black. Always dilute liquid fertilizers to half strength, and never fertilize a plant when its soil is completely dry. Always moisten the soil with plain water first. By adjusting your water quality, maintaining steady humidity, and trimming with precision, you can keep your existing leaves looking neat while guaranteeing that all future leaves emerge perfectly intact and vibrant green.